Zara. Thank you for coming to this podcast. How are you feeling?
Feeling good.
Right.
Excited. Yeah.
Nervous?
A bit.
That's fine. You'll be fine. Can you please tell me about yourself, who you are, where you're from, anything?
Okay. Hello. Amy. Zara Sharpe Dai. Old. From Peterborough. Going to university this year.
So you've grown up with your parents as deaf or hearing?
Deaf. They're both deaf. Yeah.
So would you recognize yourself as CODA?
Definitely. Yeah.
So do you want to explain a little bit more about what for those people who don't know what that is?
Yeah, so CODA is pretty simple. It means child of deaf adults. And I think children or people that are CODA, their experience growing up is very different with their hearing, with hearing parents, because for one, it involves translating things for your parents, like phone calls, emails, whatever. But at the same time, there's a big difference between the deaf world and the hearing world, right?
Yeah.
So
do you want to explain a bit more about the deaf world and the hearing world?
yeah, so CODA, I feel like you're in the middle because deaf world have their own customs, their own language, and the hearing world is big but really different. So there's a bit of a separation. And when, for example, myself, I'm hearing, but has been brought up in this deaf world, I feel like part of me is involved, like connected. Yeah.
So
I feel like maybe a lot of people feel the same way, like connected to the deaf world in themselves and hearing.
yeah, sorry. So what was it like for you growing up with your deaf parents? Like, for example, if you went to school, if you had like a parents' evening, were they like providing interpreters for you? Or did you have to like rely on notes? So what was it like? Explain a little bit about you growing up with them.
So if we go back to when I was a baby, before I learned English, so a bit of background, mum's Chinese, my dad's English. So I learned Chinese speaking before English. And before I learned Chinese, first language, what, BSL?
Wow.
Yeah. So at the same time, like talk plus sign.
Yeah.
So when I got to nursery, the school put me in what, the disabled class because I don't know English.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so I'm hearing fine, but in disabled class because teachers didn't know how to communicate. So in disabled class, they knew sign language.
But did they know you were hearing?
No, they knew I was hearing, but I didn't know English. My mum realized, she got so angry.
How did that make you feel?
I was fine because I knew BSL. I had a lot of deaf friends in my class. And then mum got angry, said, why my child in disabled class? She's hearing, she's fine. Then after I got moved to normal class, I was sad because my friend's deaf.
Oh.
But then when I got older, like you said, like parents' evenings, a lot of the times the school can't provide an interpreter to self-interpret mum, so yeah.
I'm just going to go a little bit about university. So, because they said you didn't know English and then you moved to the normal class, so did they help you learn English and that kind of thing?
Yeah. That was my mum's plan. That's why she didn't teach me English, because she knew at school I'd learn. So first important what sign language, and then Chinese, English, because in school I'm learning English anyway.
That's amazing. So you first language was ESL, and then Chinese, and then the third language is English.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've got lots of languages that make you feel like you can, if you go traveling around the world, so that means you can use any of those languages.
Chinese in like Hong Kong, China, yeah, but ESL.
So how do your parents feel about like the school not providing interpreters, or because sometimes you never know. I don't know. It may be not be true, it may not be. I know for some people it's like if they go to parents' evening and there's no interpreter provided and the student is like translating what the teacher is saying. But sometimes I know few students have done this, so like lie what the teacher is saying. Like when something the teachers like say something bad, but the student don't want to say the truth. So then like that or
Really interesting. I think I'm lucky because I study a lot, so normally like parents' evening, it's fine, just good news. A lot of the times teachers will joke and say, Zara, don't lie, I'm translating. But so I feel if you don't want me to lie, then the school provide an interpreter. You should have to worry. So really, it's the school's fault.
Yeah, they should provide. So do you think if you had the opportunity and like maybe go back to the school and they ask you what can we do to improve things for the deaf children or the deaf parents or the hearing children with deaf parents, what do you think they could improve? So do you think maybe that's one of those things they can do?
Definitely. I think schools providing interpreters is really, really important because I'm sure a lot of people watching know, but interpreters are expensive. A lot of the time, the school says, "Oh, why can't your mum provide an interpreter?" It's not fair because, because like other parents don't have to pay their teachers. So that's one thing. I think the second thing is just I want schools to start teaching BSL in class. So we learn French, German, whatever. I think we should start teaching BSL. Really. Yeah, because one, it makes deaf people's lives easier in the future. More deaf aware. Two, it's easier for CODA because you don't have to translate or explain to hearing people all the time. Yeah.
Definitely, I agree. And also, do you think because with DSL, the good thing about that is, some of the older ones, maybe they become deaf when they're hearing and then they become deaf, and then how they communicate, sometimes they can't communicate. So BSL is a good way for everyone to learn. Do you think?
Definitely. It makes it easier for deaf people in the future, for example, looking for jobs. If the people at the work with sign language, it's easier for them to find a job because, just lots and lots of things. Like, don't know why more people don't learn sign language. So
I think some of it is a bit shared to like communicate with the deaf people, and also a lot of with this to deaf aware as well.
yeah.
Not many are deaf aware. Do you think?
Definitely. I think people think deaf is like disability, but definitely have to have hearing aids. You like think hearing people look at deaf people and think, oh, like they really want to hear things. It's not really. They just want to be included and can communicate. Like being deaf is just a different way of looking at the world. It's not a sad thing. I think people don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think also Well, like, because not a lot of deaf people see themselves as disabled.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
misconception about the deaf people.
Perception. Yeah. Yeah. Remember when I was younger, or still now, tell people, oh, my mum and dad are deaf. And then a lot of the times the first response is what? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's so sad. Or, oh, that means your mum never heard your voice before. Oh, I feel so sorry for you. And I look back and I'm like, bye. Not sad. Parents, fine. They can communicate with me. It's never understood why people felt sad. Yeah.
Do you think maybe the hearing people would try, like, get involved in the deaf community and then open their eyes and see through their view? Make sense?
I feel like some people want to, but they don't know where to start. A lot of the times, like with mum helping interpret, and then people say to me, oh, damn, so cool, I like want to learn. And I say, like, learn. Oh, yeah, exactly. It's really easy to start, and yeah.
Where do you think they could start? But like you say, they don't know where to start. So where do you think they could start? Like, if you give them advice, like, what they can do?
They first, the internet, a lot of resources you can learn, and also research, like, near you, any places that teach BSL. Two easy steps, and then you can start, like, and then when you're in class, BSL class, a lot of the times the teachers can recommend go deaf clubs, you can practice and things like that. So
Agree. Do you, because like for us, when we have a deaf community, we go to like deaf clubs or deaf coffee morning. So do you have like a do you have like a CODA support group for you guys?
honestly, nothing.
No.
Growing up, no.
You would have benefit from having a CODA support group.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just nice to know people with the same experiences. And they understand. Like, remember, go to deaf club, mum. Sometimes there'd be CODA there, but it was never like a group of CODA. So I think that would have really helped, because then we can all support each other. Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you could start one.
It's a good idea. maybe CDA, if you're listening, CODA.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Something happen. I can't believe that there's no CODA support group when you think about it, but there's a lot of you, like through, no, not through, a lot of you are in CODA. If you think about it,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there's no support group for you guys.
Yeah, same. Never thought about it before. So
It's just one of those things you don't really think about, do you?
no. So maybe we should start one.
Yeah, maybe in the future somebody's like watching you, maybe start, oh, got an idea to start a CODA group. Like,
Yeah, definitely start one. It would help a lot of future coders as well.
yeah, I think especially those like really young ones.
Yeah. Because when I was really young, I think before I was 10 years old, to help dad take calls and write emails with her. And
That's not fair because you're really young and you don't really know understand things. So
yeah,
you know would benefit from helping those young, especially the younger ones.
Yeah. Mhm.
Do you feel like you have a special bond with your parents when you got both the deaf world and the hearing world? Do you feel like you have a special bond, like some of it don't?
Um, in a way, yeah. I think growing up, because hearing, and then, but I was brought up in the deaf world. A lot of the times I tell my mum, oh, wish I could be the same as you, can hear on, off, wish I had hearing off, on, things like that. Plus, BSL or sign language felt a bit like a secret language.
Yeah.
So when the family are outside and then everyone's hearing or communicating, it's nice. When I was younger, I thought it was really cool. So yeah, I think the relationship, it's different to normal parents because like have to support dad interpreting. Then normally children don't have to support the mum, dad. So that's a bit different, but I don't know if it's like special, but it's
It's just
definitely
got
nice.
something nice to have, yeah.
Yeah.
What about like if, because I know there's a few hearing people, like they have deaf parents, but their relationship is not well with them. Oh, sorry. So I was saying that there are some hearing people that have deaf parents, but sometimes the relationship is not that well. So why do you think that's the case?
I think when you get older, at least for me, my English improved a lot more than my sign language because in school I have to use it and sign language home, that's it. So when I'm older, I feel like my English a lot better than my sign language. So it means like sometimes communication like barrier because there's some things I want to explain fully but feel like don't know enough sign language to get over that. And I think sometimes my mum, father's the same, don't know enough English to explain how they really feel. So I think for some like hearing children, they can't communicate fully when they're older maybe, which makes it harder because like when you find, for example, anxiety about school or you're feeling a lot of complicated, difficult emotions, you can't really explain it. I don't know. Yeah.
So what do you think that could, something that could improve that?
I think for me, really I need to practice sign language more and be more confident about trying to communicate with family because if I sound wrong or the words aren't right, it's fine. Patient, take your time, and then slowly communicate until both yourself and dad understand.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think also it will also help, like if they could try and go to more deaf social club and try and communicate that way, and then they could improve their
Yeah. Yeah, if you involve yourself in the deaf community more, make improve things definitely. Yeah.
But it's still
because if you self-involve in deaf community more, you understand how your parents feel more. So
what do you mean by that? Do you want to explain a bit more?
Like I said before, like deaf custom, its own way of communicating, and the deaf experience is really different from their hearing experience. So a lot of things mum and dad both find difficult or stressful that the hearing find fine. So by talking to more deaf people, you start to understand and like, you know, why your mum's frustrated about this, or why your dad is, you just understand what I feel. I don't know.
You say that the deaf experience and the hearing experience is very different. Do you want to give examples of like what different between them two?
So, for example, school, a big difference. Remember, when I was younger, father would explain to me a lot of his experience in school. It's really difficult because he needed an interpreter, but sometimes the interpreter wasn't there, or teachers didn't understand, or teachers aren't deaf aware, or they think, like, have to try to force him to speak fine. Which means but it's deaf, and school for deaf people is a lot harder. For me, it was fine because I can communicate with teachers easily, like extra help thing, like things that hearing people find easy, deaf people can be difficult because help's not there. So,
I think we've already spoken a little bit about this, but is there any other advice you would give to CODA that may be struggling or that needing help? Is there any more advice you would give them?
I think an important one is to look after yourself, because CODA, a lot of the times you have to help your mum, your dad, your family. And when you're young, that's hard, because normally when you're young, your parents, your family look after your child. So it's a bit like mixed. So you have to learn how to ask for help back. So if you feel like, this is too much, I'm too stressed, like talk to your family, let them know. They just, if not family, then talk to friends or teachers, and then build like a support system so that you don't feel too alone. I think that's important.
It's very important to look after your mental health.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you're looking after yourself, your mental health, then you can help your mum and dad in the best way. So
I agree with that. That's a really nice way to put it.
Yeah.
So, and obviously, because I know your parents, like I've grown up with them. So I've got like a few stories I've heard from them.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
One thing that was like really interesting is I think when you were learning to drive with your dad, you want to explain a little bit to mysteries of that? Are you okay to explain that, or are you don't?
Oh, yeah. Fine. So stressful. Oh my god. You know, when you're driving or learning how to drive, you always say, eyes on the road, okay? But my dad next to me, he's trying to explain, Zara, go left, right. Can't see, have to see what my dad's saying. But like this, can't see the road. And it's really stressed because then one time my dad said, forgot where I was. I was driving. And then my dad said, mouth is left, but sign right. What the fuck? I don't know where to go. So I thought right, turned, there was a car coming in. Felt panicked. It's fine, car's fine, we're fine, but like drove right, stopped. And I was like, Dad, I can't give up. Yeah. So
you learn to drive with a human person first before you live with your dad?
yeah.
So you were just listening to that person first, and then you were practicing with your dad.
Practiced once with my dad that one time after again.
So I can understand, like, when you were learning to drive with a hearing instructor, you were like concentrating and listening. It was completely different from when it came to your dad, because he's using signs, like hand gestures. But you have to look.
Yeah.
You can't. Oh.
Plus, I think, I don't know if both were stressed, but I was definitely stressed. That didn't help.
Any other like funny moments happened, or any thing you go,
A lot of the times, my mum, when we both go out, when I was younger, definitely, she'd say, Zara, okay, don't go in to this shop. Want you to fake you're deaf. Like, Mum, why? She's like, oh, it's funny. Come on. Well, I don't know why. Gotta ask my mum why. Don't know. I think thought it was funny. And then she'd say, Sarah, what family over there look like they're arguing? You can hear what they're saying. I want to know. And then I feel embarrassed. I feel like, Mum, it feels like invasion of privacy. She says, but you can hear them. I can't. So you translate for me. Fine. Whatever argument. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Nosy mum.
That's true. Oh, that's so funny. I've got like tears coming. Wow. So you've done quite a lot of things in school, like your academic achievement. Do you want to tell us about what you've done in school?
I don't want to feel like I was really lucky. Sixth form. Got into this private school in Cambridge, which was really, really happy because their teaching's fantastic, and yeah, I was really happy about that. Really lucky. Oh, my dad came with me going to Cambridge. So this year my A-level results. So all A's.
Fantastic. You should be proud of. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Felt like because it's a private school and mom and dad have to help pay a bit, so wanted to make that money worth it and study hard. And so I'm going to university this year, so exciting.
What did you do in the private school? Like, was it like a normal subject? What was that special about that school?
So it's one of the top schools in the UK, so really hard to get into. But I did maths, or further maths, then chemistry, then I always forget physics.
I think it's similar to chemistry.
Chemistry, yeah.
Wow, those are like very high level subjects. So do you love doing that?
Yeah. So university, what engineering.
Ooh, is that what you want to do in the future?
Yep, it's my dream. When I was in year 5, I started want to be an engineer. So.
Year 5?
Yeah, a while ago.
Where did you get the inspiration from to become an engineer?
Year 5, went on a school trip to Cambridge, and they were talking about engineering and making massive like cars, planes. So I was like, wow, it's cool. Went home and I said, oh, I want to be an engineer. I've not changed my mind. Still.
Wow. Yeah. So initially you're going to university for
yes.
Engineering 5 years.
Yep.
And then after that you're going to go into any engineering job.
Hopefully engineering jobs. Yeah.
So what sort of engineering, like what area? Because there's so many different things in engineering. So what sort of area you want to go into?
So I'm going to be studying mechanical engineering.
It's quiet, isn't it? What has changed?
Cars or engines, planes. Oh, a lot of things. So we'll see in the future.
Yeah. This is fantastic achievement. You've also been involved in some plays, is that right?
Yes. Yeah, so loved drama, dance, singing. A lot of the time I come to shows, big performances. A lot of the times it involves singing or talking, interpreting thing. So they'd sit, watch for like 1 hour, 2 hours, but looks nice. Support me. And then sixth form in school, I helped interpret for the school.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was my experience like?
So I was talking to the drama teacher and he said, oh, know that a lot of the times drama is not really accessible for deaf people. Want to make the school more accessible. So can you help translate? And then I was like, because a lot of work plus translating like a whole drama play felt like a lot, but I said yes, translate like half of it because it's lots of different stories, short stories. So I translated 3 short stories, and then because coronavirus wasn't like big audience,
okay, yeah,
put it in. Yeah, don't know, it's good, and it felt like a good step.
Yeah,
Making drama more accessible, because it would be fantastic if younger drama shows have interpreted things I enjoy. So yeah.
what do you think, like maybe in the drama industry, or like maybe in school who does drama or theatre, whatever, they could do make it more accessible? What more could they do?
So 1, interpreters coming in. The first step, easy step, would be nice. 2, me and my father both went to London one time to watch drama. It was it 404 Psychosis? That play is a hearing play, but they changed it to involve BSL in the show. Sign language in the show to help. I don't know, it looked fantastic. I think BSL should be used more in drama because it's a beautiful way of communicating.
Yeah.
So I think
It was like the performance themselves, they were signing, or you mean oh they were
yeah. So I think it was small, just like small group, about 3 or 4 people. 3 was like one sometimes speaking. There was a lot of like projections, photos, and it looked fantastic. Yeah.
wow. I don't think I've heard of any performances do that. So that's a good way.
Yeah,
They were accessible to the deaf people.
yeah, exactly. Plus, hearing people can watch, and because I think there were a few subtitles as well. It's like a mix of like music, sign language, and it helps like deaf hearing. Yeah.
Because I know when I was younger, there was a few places I went to. Every time I went to, it was always like interpreter provided. But the problem with the interpreter provider, you have to be like either the front seat or they'd be like really dark places, you can't even see them. There'd be like no light on them. So little things like that is quite difficult for accessible.
Maybe having like not person but like projection.
Yeah.
Lots of
Yeah,
different ways.
lots of things you can see. And also, I think if the performers themselves could also learn a little bit of sign language. It doesn't have to be like very high. Just the basic ones can help access the assessment. It's a little thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and so so there's some young people. I think maybe mostly for the CODA, like if they have deaf parents and they have like maybe hearing friends or any other hearing people, they'll be like either abusing them or bullying them. Have you experienced anything like that because of you being CODA or not?
Really lucky. No, never like to my face, never. But one thing, and it when you were talking about theatre, having an interpreter there, made me remember. So it was a school trip, and we were all class going to watch. Forgot what drama, something. Sitting there, and then the interpreter came up. So I thought, cool, interpreter, fantastic. Then 2 girls, a few seats that way, heard them say, like when started signing, heard them laughing, the interpreter saying like, oh, looks so silly, or like just making fun of the interpreter. What the hell? Just little things like that. But when I say, oh, parents deaf, they always realize, yeah. So never to my face, but don't know about behind my back. Don't know.
So what do you think? Like, if I know you obviously said you've not experienced it, like it's a good positive experience for you, but maybe some of them are not lucky as you. So is there any advice you can give them if they've experienced any bullying or discrimination or anything? Like how they can like just avoid it, or, like ignore them?
It's a difficult question because yes, you can ignore them, but that's still hard because, like I said before, hearing can't listen to what they're saying. So yeah, don't think about it too much because they don't understand your experience. they don't understand the deaf world is fantastic. They just don't know. So try not to think about it too much. There's no shame having deaf parents.
Yeah.
Why is there a shame? So be proud and yeah. In the future, like make sure you have people around you that understand. So it's hard. It's a hard question.
Yeah, it's a really difficult question. So I thought if you had any advice, but I think I agree with you what you said about being shame. Because a lot of the younger ones do feel like ashamed of having like a deaf parent. So yeah, I agree with you. Like they should try and not think about it too much or be ashamed. Should be proud of it because really you're getting both of the languages, both of the world, and that can be really helpful in the future.
Yeah. So remember my mom used to say, Zara, do you ever feel ashamed of having deaf parents? Look, I feel I'm not embarrassed or whatever. Sometimes, yes, like because they're deaf, they don't know how it's like really loud, people stare. But like those are small things. Really, being a deaf person means you're pretty strong because you go through a lot of problems, a lot of barriers, and to see that over those barriers made me feel really proud. My dad university graduated 2-1 and then like working hard. So I think having deaf parents is not something to be embarrassed about. They're strong, you can learn from them. So
do you feel like you're inspired from your mom and dad to do lots of things that you can achieve in life?
yeah, definitely. Yeah. If deaf can do it, then why can't I?
That's amazing to say that. Because usually it's like the other way around.
Yeah.
So if the young people are watching you now, what's your one message you want to tell everyone? It can be both hearing or deaf.
So to the people,
Fine.
both,
Yeah.
to young coders, I just want to say that life does get better, life does get easier. When you're younger, it's stressful. Try and learn to take phone calls, write emails, and then it's a whole different experience. You get older, you get used to it. It's important to balance looking after yourself and helping mum and dad. That's number one. And then to deaf parents, say, don't worry about child being embarrassed because you know that you're working hard to bring up hearing a deaf child, so don't worry about it. So they, child will be pretty proud of you. So yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm really enjoying chatting to you. I hope you know as well.
Yeah, it was fun.